Original, creative, and unique. The stories we love and ones you will too. Hop along the information highway and get ready to see what all the buzz is about. Check out this week's selection of the Fab Five.
Hello and thank you for clicking on the Fab Five. Antoine Lewis here with a roundup of the original stories that we're covering right here on Fox 5. Tell me if you've heard about this. It's nothing short of remarkable. A robotic device that's helping paralyzed people walk again, and this is only the beginning. We're going to tell you about that. We're also focusing on a different type of medical story, the extreme procedure some people are getting to get rid of the red that's in their eyes. And are you sipping on a cup of joe while you're watching this? We're going to tell you about the #1 coffee shop in America that's right here in our backyard. Plus, they might be comfortable, but apparently fashionable, they are not. We have the take on what's being called the ugly sandal, and let me tell you, this sandal apparently is not cheap. But first, sexy superheroes at the center of a big debate in the comic book world. Lydia Serrani has a closer look at why some are saying female superheroes are being seen simply as sex objects.
David Goyer is a screenwriter behind blockbusters like the Batman Dark Knight film trilogy. The recent Superman film, Man of Steel, is also his work. But it was Goyer's rant about DC comic book character She-Hulk that's now getting attention. In a recent podcast, Goyer said, quote, She-Hulk was the extension of the male power fantasy. So it's like if I'm going to be this geek who becomes the Hulk, then let's create a giant green porn star.
He didn't know what he was talking about.
Rene Rosa is a manager here at JHU Comic Books in Midtown Manhattan. He says Goyer, who doesn't work for DC Comics, got it all wrong because not only is the Hulk a cousin of the She-Hulk, the Hulk already has a love interest.
He has Betty Banner, which is his wife, and everything he's ever done has been to help or protect her and everything else.
But not every female superhero is sexually provocative. Check out Batwoman and Rocket Girl. Both are fully dressed, both are just as strong as the men, but these ladies are few and far between.
Her outfit, yes, it is very revealing.
Michelle Borelli is one of the few female comic book fans we found.
It's degrading to women. Small children are going to pick up these books and they're going to start reading about superheroes and they're going to think that they have to show their boobs just to beat a bad guy.
Would Superman be taken as seriously if he wore a crop top? Doubtful. Meantime, moms like Shalinda say this male-dominated industry is clearly changing, and so should covers like these.
I think it's degrading to women, and that's definitely not the example that I want to set for my children.
Lydia Serrani, Fox 5 News.
All right, Lydia, thanks so much. Breakthroughs in treating people who are paralyzed have been happening at a remarkable pace. In fact, at the World Cup in Brazil, we may actually see something we've never seen before. Liz Dahlem shows us how a local woman is now up and moving again after 13 years in a wheelchair.
How's that feel?
Actually, it's pretty good.
Okay, come on back. How's that feel?
It's fine.
Cindy Cullinane has spent the past 13 years in a wheelchair after losing most of her leg function in a car accident. But what you're about to see is truly remarkable.
Leaning, 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 leaning. Get the crutches in position. And standing, standing, standing. Keep your crutches in place. Try not to walk them. That's it. And get your balance. You good?
Hold on. I got it. I got it.
Cindy is using what's called an exoskeleton. It has motors at the hips, knees, and sensors underneath the foot pedals. For the first time in more than a decade, Cindy can put one foot in front of the other without any pain.
So, once you're standing up, like, the world is so much better up here.
Cindy is one of 13 patients participating in a 3-year study at the Kessler Foundation in West Orange, New Jersey. Patients have 100 sessions with the exoskeleton,
It's much better today.
and Dr. Gail Forrest tracks their progress.
Determining what the change in her muscle is, determining what the change in her bone mineral density is, and just looking at her functioning while working in the robot.
With a walker, Cindy can only take maybe 1 to 12 steps a day. But when she uses the exoskeleton, she can walk around 2,000 steps in about an hour and a half.
It takes down the swelling in my legs from sitting in the chair. It makes the digestion better for me. It's just, and mentally, Mentally, I couldn't even tell you what it does for me.
If things go according to plan, a new exoskeleton will make its debut at the World Cup in Brazil. And if Brazilian-born neuroscientist Dr. Miguel Nicolelis gets his way, a paralyzed young adult will walk onto the field and kick a soccer ball with the help of an exoskeleton. Dr. Nicolelis created a robot that taps signals from the brain to operate prosthetic limbs.
Where our thoughts are changed into electrical signals, which can then control an external robot.
Dr. Stephen Kirschblum is the Kessler Institute for Rehabilitation medical director and says displaying a new exoskeleton on the world stage could help make wheelchairs obsolete.
Whenever you want to walk, you're not consciously thinking about it, but unconsciously, your brain is telling the limbs what to do. In the case of a spinal cord injury, for instance, that message is still there. The brain still wants to walk, but is unable to because the message is cut. Here, though, the message can bypass the damaged area, can be connected to a computer that will control the limbs of the exoskeleton, allowing the patient then to be able to walk in this device.
Exoskeletons are only available to rehabilitation centers and cost close to $150,000. Experts hope that cost will come down if the technology becomes more widespread.
The hope for the future is that it'll allow people back into their homes, back into their communities, and be able to be more independent.
If I had one of these at home, I could do so many things by myself, and it would just be so much better.
From West Orange, New Jersey, Liz Dahlem, Fox 5 News.
Now, Cindy is 6 weeks into the study, and we are proud to say that doctors say she is making tremendous progress. Way to go, Cindy. Now, in the never-ending quest for beauty, apparently the eyes have it, and it looks like the whiter the brighter, that's the better. But there's now a surgical procedure to ensure that will happen. Sharon Crowley tells us if the risks, however, outweigh the results.
Eyes are literally a window into our health, emotions, personality, and of course, how we look to ourselves and to others.
I'm always very self-conscious about my eyes.
Joan Jones has suffered from chronically red eyes after an eye injury in childhood. Since then, she has seen many doctors and had many surgeries to improve her condition.
The redness does bother me, and I use lots of drops and ointments during the day.
Now there is a relatively new medical cosmetic procedure some eye doctors are performing to surgically whiten the eyes.
On the inner and outer part of each eye. That's where the redness tends to be most cosmetically bothersome to patients.
Dr. J.P. Dunn is an eye surgeon and medical director at Wills Eye Hospital in Philadelphia. He says the white portion of your eye is covered with a thin membrane. This membrane is where red veins reside. During this cosmetic procedure, the membrane is removed and a clear new membrane grows in its place.
The idea is that by inhibiting blood vessel growth in that area, you will make the eye look much whiter.
Can you lose your vision?
Vision loss has been reported. That would be extremely rare.
Dr. Dunn does not perform this risky cosmetic surgery, but he has had to surgically correct the botched eye whitening jobs. One patient came to him with ulcers in his eyes that, if not treated, could have led to blindness.
He said it was inhibiting his ability to work.
The procedure is so new. It has a high rate of complications. It's already banned even in some countries, and it's costly, $3,000 to $5,000 an eye. So not only is it risky, there are no guarantees of long-term results. And even worse, you could end up with more redness than you started with.
If it were my eye, personally, I wouldn't have it done.
As for Joan Jones, well, she says she'll stick with the red eyes she has.
You get one set of eyes, and so we have to protect them.
Sharon Crowley, Fox 5 News.
All right, Sharon, thanks. Well, New Yorkers love their job, or frankly, I drink green tea, but we'll talk about that later. One coffee shop in our area, however, is getting national recognition for serving up the perfect cup of coffee. So we sent Carrie Drew to drink a sip.
It may look like your typical New York City coffee shop, but Everyman Espresso is far from ordinary.
We are so comfortable in our knowledge and our place with coffee that we can have fun with it.
The small shop on West Broadway near Canal Street was recently voted the #1 coffee shop in America by thedailymeal.com.
Acid, sweetness, bitterness, all in balance, deliciousness. That's what I think makes a good cup of coffee.
Sam Penix and Sam Lewinton opened this place almost 2 years ago. It's their second location in the city and offers coffee lovers ingredients they won't find anywhere else.
We source coffees from Counterculture Coffee, which is an awesome roaster in Durham, North Carolina, and they get their coffees from all over the world.
There's filter brewed coffee in this gadget called a Chemex.
I want to use 30 grams of coffee to 500 grams of water.
And even coffee cocktails.
And there it is, an espresso old-fashioned.
One of the signatures here is the cappuccino. It looks like a work of art, and customers say it tastes even better.
The flavors are different. Maybe they're more sophisticated. There's more nuance to them. I really like it.
Excellent flavor, very aromatic.
So if you're looking for a cup of joe made with love,
Good to see you, buddy. Be well.
check out Everyman Espresso.
You can come in and we're gonna play Janet Jackson. We're gonna make the best cappuccino you've ever had, and we're gonna have some fun.
There's something for every coffee-loving man and woman. Carrie Drew, Fox 5 News.
Well, they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, especially when it comes to fashion. So it actually may surprise you that apparently ugly shoes are actually in. Fox 5's Crystal Young shows us some of the more eye-catching styles.
You know that expression, everything old is new again? Well, it also applies to shoes. Birkenstocks were invented in Germany in 1897 and made their way stateside in the mid-60s. Now the style is seeing a big resurgence. City slickers used to think Birkenstocks were for those earthy types who also love to wear them with socks. Now all that's changed. A few seasons ago, for spring 2012, models strutted down the Celine runway in a high-fashion version of the style. Now, even though some have dubbed it the ugly shoe trend, not everyone agrees.
It isn't Manolo, it isn't Jimmy's shoe, but there's a place in everything for ugly. And definitely in fashion, a little ugly is always good.
At the Celine store on Madison Avenue, the shoes are flying off the shelves, and now Givenchy is the latest designer to get in on the act. Its models wore them with flowy dresses, even beaded gowns. Its floral pair sells for $795. But you don't have to shell out a ton to try this look. The Steve Madden store on Bleecker Street is selling its floral version for $89.95. They placed the entire display near the front door to help lure people in, and it's working. So I couldn't help but wonder, is this trend cool or uncool? I hit the streets to find out.
Comfortable, but trendy. If that's what's the end thing, and it's cute to me.
Now these are trending, so what do you think?
It's good, yeah.
I had to think about it. I consulted with a good friend, and she told me they look kind of Russian bathhousey, but I think I can pull it off, and it's all right.
All right, I like it. So is it comfortable, and who are yours by?
These are Zara.
Okay. And they're comfortable on your foot?
Yeah, very comfortable.
Okay. And I like how you're rocking it with a skirt, so you have no problem doing it with something that's like a little more dressy on the top.
Yeah.
Okay, so you support this trend?
I do.
Style expert George Brescia weighs in on the look.
It's just not pretty. Like, you can have the best pedicure ever and the most gorgeous toenail color. You know what I mean? Like, with your polish. I just don't think it's attractive.
One thing's for sure, this definitely falls into the category of a tricky trend. If you're not sure that it's for you, then you try a more inexpensive pair. I'm Crystal Young, Fox 5 News.
All right, so tell me what you think. This ugly or this was okay. Anyway, that does it for this week's edition of the Fab Five. Antoine Lewis with you. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at AntoineFox5. We'll see you next time. And as always, thanks for the company. I'll put my shoe back on.